Now, one thing that police defenders in this country say is that the cops are there to help. All right. And if you're not a criminal, then and if you're not doing anything wrong, then you're fine. Well, that didn't seem to be the case when it came to one black man from Virginia who had called 911 seeking help after breaking down and wound up getting shot 10 times by a police officer. Now, NBC Washington is reporting that 32-year-old Isaiah Brown was given a ride back to his Spotsylvania County home by a sheriff's deputy after his car broke down at a gas station. So, okay, yes. He broke down. He called the officer for help. He actually got a ride back home. Now, when he arrived home, Brown got worried. He got worried that his car was going to get towed. Well, I can assume that since towing is rather expensive. If you've ever had to have your car towed and you didn't have the insurance coverage to go along with it, well, that's really, really expensive. Okay, and so yeah, he gets worried about his car. Oh crap, somebody's gonna tow my car. I can't afford to pay that. $500 towing bill. Um, Unfortunately for Brown, he had called the officer that had given him a ride, thinking that, well, the guy's he already gave me a ride back to his car. He's cool. This officer helped me out. I'm sure he wouldn't mind bringing me back to my car just to make sure that it's not getting towed. Maybe I'll bring some tools with me and so I can get it fixed. Whatever. Now, unfortunately, that same officer returned and immediately after a couple of minutes opened fire, shooting him 10 times. Now, Isaiah Brown survived and is currently being treated for 10 bullet wounds, but he is in intensive care. Virginia State Police said they're investigating the shooting. So far, have given no explanation as to why this shooting happened. Who they confirmed, by the way, they confirmed that Isaiah Brown was not armed with a weapon. He was unarmed. He wasn't doing anything wrong, but shot anyway, 10 times. Whew. Now, if it were a case where the officer might have felt his life was in danger, well, the police would have immediately released this footage. They would have made a big presser about it and be like, well, our officer, we had no choice. There's the officer's life was in danger. We've got video, there's no choice. What are you gonna do? Well, in this case, they're not releasing anything. They refuse to release the dash cam video, or I'm sorry, not the dash cam, but they refuse to release the body cam footage of this, which tells you that there is something that happened that the officers do not want people to see. That is a problem. And now, more details about this. The sheriff's office categorized the second call, where he was calling to get back to his car, right? A domestic situation between Isaiah Brown and a family member. A source within the county sheriff's office said that he was complaining about his brother. Okay, but how does that lead to a shooting? That doesn't make any sense. Now, Tasman Brown said, who was a family member, says he believes his brother just wanted to get a ride back to his car because, again, he was worried that it was going to get towed and it was incredibly expensive. That same deputy, again, who helped him, had returned, opening fire. Isaiah Brown's siblings said the deputy, whose name was not released, started shooting for no reason. I'm still just trying to figure out where he felt the threat at to feel the need to shoot, said Yolanda Brown, his sister. After the shooting, of course, the deputy had administered CPR. The family said Isaiah Brown was in surgery and was wounded in the face, neck, chest, and pelvic area. So, holy crap. You wonder why communities don't trust police. Laura Ingraham has this theory, right? I've showed it on the show a couple of times. Where she'll talk about, well, the reason that black people run from police and are afraid of getting shot is because the left wing, cable pundits, corporate media, they're telling these young black men that they're going to get shot and killed by police. And yet, here's a situation where somebody calls the police to get help. to get a ride, and then was shot 10 times for no reason. And besides, here's the other thing. Police should not be called for these things. The police aren't a taxi service. Okay? And by the way, I'm not saying that, like, I'm not attacking Brown here. But let's be honest, police are not a taxi service. We should actually have a publicly funded taxi service that is able to help people that are broken down. You know, something that you can call, like, hey, I broke down on this and this street, come pick me up, and I think we should also have publicly funded towing that's free for people to use, because again, towing and why is that? Well, roads are publicly funded. Car breakdowns block roads, block traffic. They can become hazards. People could get stuck out in the middle of nowhere. We should have those things that are paid for by our taxes. It makes sense. And why we don't have something like this, it really doesn't make sense, But again, the core of the issue, though, is that we have, because of this situation, another black man who was unarmed, who had an interaction with police that ended up with him being shot. He's lucky he's alive. He really is. And at least for now, there's a good chance that, unfortunately, the injury could end up leading to disability, permanent injury, things like that, to where, the taxpayers will end up having to take care of him and, pay for that or pay for a family settlement. Like we seem to be held on the hook a lot for in these police settlements. And I'm just thinking maybe instead of having to do that, we find a better way to do things, instead of having this current system, we should defund the police. And I know that's a scary thing to say, but hear me out. We take the money the extra money that we were putting into police to do all of these different extra things and put it in other places. Put it into services for the community. Still have cops. All right. So I know a lot of you are going to be like, what the hell? No, cops are there to protect property rights. If your car gets stolen, yeah, you should call a cop. And the cop should go and find your car and, arrest a person who stole your car. And so you can get your property back. That was the whole point. The whole point of cops. Somebody steals, breaks into your house, steals your TV. You get your TV back. That's what the cops are supposed to be there to do. They should not be doing mental health checks. They should not be ferrying people around. They should not be, dealing with that kind of stuff. Even in a lot of domestic disputes, they shouldn't be dealing with those things. They should not be. It should instead be people who are there for de-escalation. Cops shouldn't be anywhere near this stuff. That's why you defund them and you put that money into different things that allow different departments to go and answer things that they are suited to take care of. Again, I know a lot of this is unthinkable in our society. I get it. But imagine if we freed up some of the money that we use to, pay police officers to shoot black people for no reason or to settle lawsuits as a result of those police shootings, or, the money that we use to go after somebody who's smoking a joint, or money that we use to bomb black people or brown people in the Middle East. The money is there. The money is there. It's just tied up in things that right now don't work. Now, I hope Isaiah Brown recovers. I hope that there is accountability. I'm going to see that there are more, details as days go by, as this is a new story. We're going to have to see what happens. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and share with your friends. You can subscribe and help out the channel by becoming a patron. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf, or you can become a channel member as well by hitting the join button below.